All right. How's it going, guys? It is Wednesday night. You already know what time it is. It is time for SEC After Dark. I've moved down the table a little bit. There's an empty spot. Our set looks kind of weird. But nonetheless, we are here. We are ready to roll. It's going to be an SEC schedule reveal party, some transfer portal stuff, bowl games, all kind of stuff, man. But we are presented by DeadSoxy. If you want to support Ole Miss NIL, go visit our friends at DeadSoxy.com and buy your socks today. You can get bangers such as Juice Kiffin socks. You can get some Quinshon Judkins edition socks. And you don't have to get Ole Miss socks. They come in other colors as well, purple and gold, which how they allowed that to happen, I'm not sure. But you can get them in purple and gold. You can get them in crimson or cream. They come in that nice little box over Steve's right shoulder right there. So you need to go and find some socks that fit for you. And if you sign up to become a member, you get an instant 25% discount. You get free shipping and a free gift. Who doesn't like a free gift? So head to DeadSoxy.com, sign up for your membership, pick you some socks, and enjoy. So that's DeadSoxy.com. As always, stay soxy, my friends.
All right, it's time to get locked on pickles. Stewart's Cajun Pickles, that is. They offer a variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, even carrots and asparagus. This is a family-owned company, homemade on the coast of Mississippi. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles have been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years now, and they have become the South's favorite pickle. These are truly the best pickles you will ever have. A strong dill flavor with the Cajun punch, no over sour taste. And this being a small business, they strive to keep the produce fresh and local from the start, keeping the pickle product finally extra crisp and crunchy. You can find these pickle products online at the pickledstore.com, or at your local Rouse's Market on the Gulf Coast or other southern stores near you. So be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra, and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickers, the South's favorite pickle.
We are also presented by betonline.ag. Our lines, we're going to do bowl picks. So our lines are presented by betonline.ag, your number one source for all your sports wagering needs. If you want to bet it, betonline.ag has it. Live player props, futures, game spreads, live odds, whatever you want to bet, they've got it. And whatever sport you want to bet, they've got it. So head on over to betonline.ag. They even have casino games. So if you like blackjack, Ruben stud poker, Texas Hold'em, whatever it is in the casino that you like to play, they have that as well. They have it all at betonline.ag. So what you need to do is head over to the website, enter the promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to get your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag, it's where the game starts. Guys, we got a great show, man. This is like, you look at this lineup and it's just, wow. It's there's a lot going on. You got transfer portal stuff happening. You had a Locked On SEC show launched this week. So Mississippi State, you're the only one without one.
Don't have one.
Don't have one.
All wrong.
Yeah. And so we launched the SEC show tonight. The SEC releases 2024 schedule, and we're going to talk about some Big Ten defenses. Why? I don't know, but
Alabama overrated.
Well, yeah, we know that. And we got Alabama versus Michigan, which that's going to take all of 3 seconds to talk about, because I don't think Michigan has a chance in that game unless Alabama just has a bunch of people opt out for some reason. But let's talk about Ole Miss a little bit. Ole Miss has some momentum going on here. Georgia is losing a little bit of steam. Dylan Raiola is on the fence with Georgia and Nebraska. Ole Miss is about to get probably one of the scariest defensive lines in all of SEC football, Steve.
Yeah, it looks like as early as tonight, it hasn't happened yet, but it looks like they're going to get a commitment from Princely Umanmielen.
Got some work to do.
Yeah. And Umanmielen.
Remind me to talk about the my Florida State and the committee, and them proving themselves that the committee got it right, leaving them out.
All right.
Yeah, well, I will do that. And it looks like this weekend Walter Nolen is going to be visiting Ole Miss as well. The collective, which we see right here, the Grove Collective, we're advertising the heck out of that at the moment. These guys are going all in. They've already signed the top linebacker in the portal. The top wide receiver has already visited and is crystal ball to Ole Miss.
Who's the top receiver?
Juice Wells from South Carolina.
He's pretty good.
So it looks like he might end up there as well. No pun intended. This is an Ole Miss team that was probably going to go into the start of next football season as 7th, 8th ranked team in the country. With the way they're adding talent through the transfer portal, this is a fringe top 5 football team now.
It is. I mean, they're starting to gain a lot of steam, as you see in the sidebar there. But I mean, they've developed a program and they've been patient with it over the years, and that's one thing that I've been impressed with Ole Miss, because like they could have fallen into the trap of, he can't get it. Lane Kiffin can't get it done against, yada yada, and they could have probably fallen into the trap at the end of last year and saying, okay, he just fell completely apart. We're never going to win a big game with Lane Kiffin, but they didn't. They stayed with it. Now recruiting is picking up. They've bought into NIL even further, and it's going to pay off for them. And their Ole Miss is going to be the beneficiaries of being in one of the top leagues in college football, and NIL to back it up.
Yeah, and sitting there, Tennessee has had a couple players go into the portal. What's going on with Tennessee as far as players coming in?
Heard almost nothing. It's frustrating as a fan because you really have no idea what's going on. We haven't lost a lot of players. I mean, there have been a few, but it's not that many, which is great. And we've had a lot of people who we thought might be going pro who have decided to come back, which is great. But we're not hearing much of anything really about what's going on with the portal. And I got to tell you, it's definitely one of those things like recruiting used to be, where you just drives you nuts just waiting around trying to find out what's going to happen. And a lot of our fans are starting to lose their mind not hearing anything. It's actually, and it's more annoying when teams like Ole Miss are just doing so much better at it. Lane Kiffin, because we had no idea how the NIL and all this and this transfer portal was going to really be when it got started, but Lane Kiffin figured it out fast. And I don't know, it frustrates some of the teams like Tennessee fans when they don't think their teams are figuring it out quite as fast. Not as frustrating as somebody like Clemson fans probably are, but still.
Or Florida fans.
Oh, Florida fans.
Yeah.
Losing Trevor Etienne is a huge, huge blow. And guess who's favored for Trevor Etienne?
Oh yeah, he's going to Georgia.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all but official at this point. And then London Humphreys stealing the top receiver from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it was like you're just trying to at Georgia create a new Ladd McConkey.
I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's precisely what they're trying to do.
And that's the other crazy thing is players that I thought were going to go pro, a lot of them are just transferring because apparently NIL is just making it more just better for them to stay in college another year and make a little bit of extra money. Because Princely, I assumed he was going pro. Tyler Barron, who's transferring out of Tennessee, I assumed he was going. Like I had already written him off as going pro anyway, so I didn't think he was coming back. But
yeah, Carson Beck's trying to negotiate too. And I think that's what's kind of making Dylan Raiola have second thoughts, because like he thought, hey, if Carson Beck has a great season, he's going to jump.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come in and beat out everybody. And Brock Vandegrift said, to hell with this. I'm going to Kentucky. And then so right now it's Ryan Puglisi and Gunnar Stockton, and they'll probably add one more in the portal just for depth wise. But
Puglisi seems pretty good.
He's very good.
Yeah. Now that's
a pretty good consolation pro. So
yeah,
you have teams with leverage or players with leverage.
Yeah,
and it's gotten to the point, if they're not a top 4 round draft pick, you can make more money if you're a good player at college.
Yeah.
Well, that's been some of the speculation.
You can have a bigger first contract.
Yeah. Like, where's Tennessee spending their money if they're not bringing in these transfers? And then a lot of people saying, well, we've already had like 4 people we thought were going pro come back. That's probably where the money's going. They can just make more money coming back to Tennessee.
Actually, if you're looking for money at Tennessee, it's probably going to Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, well, they're bringing back offensive linemen, so obviously they want to give him the best start they can to his career. So we haven't heard of Bruce coming back.
PJ Ongulale, so you can have the all-name team going on over there.
Yeah, really. You
Didn't he visit
every
Florida
game?
State?
Uncle Umanmielen. I
Yeah.
don't know. These people are
Okay, so here's my point then. Since we're bringing up DJ
There we go.
Ungulale. All right. So with Florida State hosting DJ Ungulale now, it's proving to the committee that they don't believe in their quarterback depth. And that was the whole argument of like, hey, our backup quarterback, our third string guy won us a game. Ohio State did that. They believe in him so much, they're going to bring in DJ Ungulale.
Yeah.
The committee cannot be laughing harder right now.
Yeah.
Does that, I mean, they literally cut their own legs off in that argument. I don't know if I said that right, but
well, you have the attorney general in Florida and all them was like, we're investigating the playoff committee. Why? The playoff committee was completely in their rights to do exactly what they did. You're doing this for political points to make it look like you're doing something and to trying to win an election, and you're trying to turn people against the playoff competition so you can prove that you are all Florida State. Because the AG is actually a UF grad. It's like, I'm going to go for Florida State this time. It's terrible. It's awful.
Meanwhile, DJ Ungulale is visiting campus right now. So what the hell, man?
Yeah, it's obviously they need something. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody could really argue that they were one of the 4 best teams. I think it was just the argument of
they would have been.
We're a Power 5 team that won our division and went undefeated. We should be in. And I get it, but hey, Cassidy.
They would. I mean, they would have been in with Jordan Travis. I mean, they were actually a legitimate top 14 with Jordan Travis.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But he goes down. I mean, they had weapons. I mean, they have Keon Coleman, they have Trey Benson, they have Jared Verse on defense, and that defense is nasty, by the way. But yeah,
that could have easily happened last year. Just thinking back on it, if Tennessee had still beaten South Carolina but still lost Hendon Hooker in the game. So they were only a 1-loss team. Would they've gotten into the 14 playoff? Yeah, without Hendon Hooker. I mean,
no, because they would have still put in CJ Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr. and that whole deal.
Yeah.
If
Iowa
had beaten Penn State and went 11-1, how close to the playoff would Iowa be?
Not even.
I know. That's another one where it's just like their defense is so good, but it's hard to take them seriously because their offense is so bad.
And I have a point behind this, because essentially Florida State right now, without Jordan Travis, it is Iowa. It is like the argument: do we put Iowa in the play? Because that defense
that's a good point.
State is potentially the best in the conference. They would probably be better than Ohio State and Michigan if they were in the Big Ten, playing all that protect the defense football that they do up there in the Midwest. And if Iowa is not good enough to get into the 14 playoff, even if they go, I don't think if Iowa would have gone 12-0, I don't know if they would have gotten in because of their reputation.
I know.
Yeah.
Because you don't get both of them. You don't get Ohio State and Michigan. I think they did get beat by Michigan, and they got beat by Penn State. So you don't have the benefit of playing both of them. And I think it's an interesting situation, because here's the thing, and we'll talk about Big Ten defenses right now. That's a nice segue.
They're overrated. Okay, end of discussion.
Well, they are overrated. And the point is, the conference-wise, the Big Ten plays protect the defense at all costs football. At all costs. Every team in that league, with the exception of Maryland, who's just kind of a dumpster fire, but every team in that league is going to play the exact same way. Michigan plays the same way that Iowa does, who plays the same way as Ohio State does now, who plays the same way as Illinois. It's to the point where Wisconsin said, hey, maybe we should try and do something a little bit different. Now, they brought in Phil Longo, and that's a mistake to begin with. But
well, did you see the quarterback transfer they got?
Oh, Van Dyne, right?
Yeah, Van Dyne, yeah.
Yeah. But you have a situation to where it's the best defense in college football. Everybody's talking like they're the 85 Bears. Well, Michigan beat that same Penn State team by not throwing a forward pass.
Yeah.
That same thing. And so you're going to tell me, I mean, with a straight face, you're going to come and tell me these Big Ten defenses, like that Penn State defense, it's like number 2 statistically in the country, is better than Georgia, is better than Alabama. No. No. I think they compare favorably with Texas A&M because they're explosive, but they play a different brand of football. Ole Miss this year gave up like 21 or 22 points per game. If Ole Miss played Big Ten type football to where the scores came down against some of the elite offenses that Ole Miss went through, because Penn State did not have to play an offense anywhere close to LSU. Penn State did not have to play an offense anywhere close to Georgia. Penn State probably didn't have to play an offense anywhere close to Alabama. And if Ole Miss holds those 3 teams to just normal scoring outputs, just does that. Ole Miss is averaging on the year, giving up 16 points per game. Now tell me if you just think, looking at that Ole Miss team, that is an elite defense.
Not looking at them, no.
No, you wouldn't say that.
You can't name unless you're an Ole Miss fan, you really can't name anybody on that defense. It's a defense that has no superstars, but they are as a unit really, really good.
Yeah. But the point is, if they were in the Big Ten, their stats would probably be something similar to what Nebraska put up, what Iowa put up is from points per game. That's the stratosphere that they would be living in. And the whole narrative about this being a defensive team would be permeating all over the place. And everybody, you can't look at Ole Miss and say defensive team. And that right there, and you take the fact that Jim Harbaugh will not let JJ McCarthy put the ball at risk whenever he's in any way worried about the personnel. And you're telling me that team is going to beat Alabama?
You're going to take. I can tell you again, firsthand experience, that strategy will not work against Alabama.
No,
Kirby tried that. He tries that every time he plays Alabama. I'm not sure why he does that, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to be for you to beat Alabama. You have to put them on their heels, and you have to keep them there.
Listen, and this is the other thing. Nobody is talking about this. When Michigan played Penn State, yes, Michigan won the game, and that's fine. And Michigan won the game by running the football, not throwing the ball. Do you know why they just started running the football and not throwing the football?
Because they couldn't protect.
They could not protect the quarterback, and Chop Robinson was absolutely working. Now, Alabama is going to come into that game with Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner, and all of a sudden, you those Michigan offensive linemen all of a sudden are going to get better and handle it because Dallas Turner's equally the player that Chop Robinson is.
I think he's better.
Yeah, and this is a chance. This could be one of those old style Alabama football games that Alabama wins 24-0, and it might as well be 88-0.
Yeah, 24-0 with no shot. No, I think it's going to be like Georgia when Georgia played them in the Orange Bowl 2 years ago when they played Michigan. This can be a lot like that game. They freaking destroyed them.
Yeah,
Michigan didn't score till late, I think, too. Like it was like 33-0 for a while. And it might as well have been 133-0.
And I think Missouri might be getting ready to do something in Ohio State as well.
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I am all in for Drink just taking down Ohio State and watching those fans just go absolutely nuts on Ryan Day.
Yeah. Absolutely nuts. You know, like I said, I'm on commitment watch right now with Princely, Umanmielen.
Just
to see what's
I
up.
hope he commits. So you have to say his name a whole bunch in one.
Man, I've pronounced his name 37 different times on my show already.
And you're going to go 37 different more and probably have 37 different iterations.
I just call him Princely most of the time.
You got to go for the name. DJ
Umanmielen. There we go.
Umanmielen. There you go. Umanmielen.
Yeah.
So yeah. Vandy's gotten a few commits in the portal here. Vandy has gotten a few defensive guys. They got a big offensive line. They stole one from Mississippi State. He's a local Nashville kid. They got a downhill, hard-hitting, run-stopping safety from TCU, Randon Fontenette, and then they got a defensive lineman, a disruptor from MTSU. He was all conference.
All right.
Nice.
Is that the Marley, whatever?
No, it's Zaylen Wood.
Okay. Interesting. And obviously we established earlier that Tennessee was just, they're kind of like Jeb's podcast at this moment. They're just, it's coming.
They're just, it's the checks in the mail.
It's there.
Yeah.
Vandy looks like they're about to get an offensive coordinator as well. Tim Beck from New Mexico State. Interesting, very interesting hire. Watch some things on him when I saw his name rumored, just to kind of get a glimpse of what he does. I think he'd be perfect for Vandy because they're a little bit different. That's what Vandy needs. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Feel bad for Auburn.
Auburn's screwed. They don't play Auburn though. I don't think they do.
Vandy does, I think.
That's right, they do.
Yeah.
Ole
Miss doesn't get Auburn or Alabama in 2024. They don't play for the first time in 30 years. They don't play those two schools.
And you get Georgia again, right?
Yeah, Georgia at home, at LSU, Oklahoma at home. Those are the three big games.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Georgia picked up Mississippi State.
Yeah, we did too.
Hell yeah,
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Is that y'all's bye game?
That's our big game.
Yeah.
But Georgia and Texas going to Texas.
Yeah,
that's legit.
October 19th, we're at Alabama. So look, listen to this schedule. All right, we open up with Clemson in the Benz. Then we play Tennessee Tech. Then we're at Kentucky, and then we have a bye. Then we're at Alabama, home against Auburn, home against Mississippi State, at Texas, bye, cocktail party, at Ole Miss, home against Tennessee, home against UMass, home against Tech, Georgia Tech. It's a hell of a schedule.
Yeah,
for all the crap that we've gotten this year for our schedule, we're making up for it.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
And Alabama having you during the regular season as well. That means they're at Oklahoma like the week before the Iron Bowl.
Yeah,
and there's a whole lot of teams that not having a good schedule, and then you have Ole Miss, and it's like, I kind of like that.
See, I think the way they scheduled Georgia and Alabama is the same way the NFL schedules Buffalo and Kansas City. The game's always in Kansas City. And just like Alabama, the game's always in Tuscaloosa. So
it should be pretty interesting, in my opinion.
Should be.
Yeah.
I just like the way they scheduled Tennessee's bye weeks. We're basically after big games instead of before. So it's just like we have to go to Oklahoma. That's our opening SEC game. And then we get a bye week to just kind of let that rest. And then we have the third Saturday of October. Fourth Saturday of October, we're going to nap. So I like that.
Hell yeah.
Nice. The Rose Bowl. I'm
Yeah.
going to the Citrus Bowl.
That's right.
It's right down the road from me.
And we're going to catch some spring training baseball because I got my flex pack signed up. Me and Jeb's going to see the Braves and the Tigers in March.
Oh, like I said, lifelong Tiger fan.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, I don't mess around with my Tigers anymore. It's a real thing. You can ask Jeb. You can ask Becky.
So here's
I'm
Vandy's
a lifelong
schedule.
Braves fan, but whatever.
Yeah, I probably watched 122 games last year.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, so Vandy, they are they open with Virginia Tech at home. Then they have Alcorn State. Then they're at Georgia State. They're at Missouri. Home against Alabama. At Kentucky. Home against Ball State. Actually, all of these games are road games because let's face it, Vandy's a home away from home. They're home against Texas. They're at Auburn. Home against South Carolina. They're at LSU, and then finish the season hosting Tennessee.
Yeah, I think 8-4. That could happen.
Oh, real quick before we get going,
12-0.
you want to do some locked on NFC South for a moment?
Let's do it.
NFC South. All right.
The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are going to wear throwbacks this weekend.
That's AFC South.
AFC South. Sorry.
Come on, Saints fans.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's the reason I said NFC South is because of the Saints. But the AFC South, the Titans are going to wear their Houston Oilers or the Tennessee Oilers throwbacks against the Houston Texans.
Nice. I like when they do that. That's fun. I actually have an old Tennessee Oilers jersey, but it's a Vince Young one. So I don't know.
Old troll.
Yeah. People don't even realize that the Tennessee Oilers were a thing. It's just like that's Houston's uniforms. No, that's literally Tennessee's uniforms. The first 2 years.
For 2 years,
Yeah.
They played over in Memphis, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they played 1 year at Vandy.
Then, 1 year at Vandy. And then got their new stadium, their new name, went all the way to the Super Bowl and came 1 yard short. But we did get the Music City Miracle. All right, Peter Frank White.
To get to that Super Bowl, that took a miracle, literally.
Yes. Yeah, it did.
But, look at Ole Miss's schedule on there. You have the 4 non-conference games, and you have games like against Kentucky and South Carolina, and then you have like a 4-week period of at LSU, Oklahoma at home, bye week, Georgia at home. And the season's going to come off of that. Ole Miss probably needs to get 1 or 2 of those games if they want to get where they need to get. And then at the end of the year, they have Florida, they have Mississippi State, all those in November. They have a bye week in November as well. It's weird, but I love the schedule. I said our own there. I'm in love with this schedule. If Ole Miss for them to get where they need to get and where they want to get, the schedule is absolutely set up for them to do that. And if you look at who they're recruiting in the portal, where you see crystal balls for Juice Wells, you see them for Princely Umanmielen, something like that. Tyler Barron, I've seen a prediction of him going to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is just grabbing the number 1 player out of the transfer portal at seemingly every position. So, I mean, honestly, it's going to be weird because it's Mississippi, but Ole Miss is kind of doing what we accused Texas A&M of doing. They're just going and cherry picking. It's like we want one of them, we want one of them.
We'll have that. Give me 2 of that and a side of that.
Yeah, they're all in.
It is impressive how quickly Lane Kiffin picked up the whole transfer portal thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, he had like the number 1 recruiting class in his 1 year he was at Tennessee. That was like Bryce
he
Brown.
recruited well.
Yeah. So he does what's needed to do to win football games, and back then it was just regular recruiting.
He learned from Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't hate him for anything he did at Tennessee. It was his exit from Tennessee that was the problem. But
and you have those like 1985 junior high school jerseys that Tennessee just like ordered during the week for their game against Tennessee or South Carolina, where there were black jerseys before Halloween. And that's even when he started the uniform combinations thing.
He's a pioneer, Steve. He's a pioneer. What can you say?
Well, you know what time it is?
It's 8:28.
Yes. It's time for picks.
Picks.
Hey, is Jake's making picks?
He sure is.
I'll speak. I'll try to do my best impression of Jake. If you want to put a box there, I'll voice it. Okay, so our picks presented by BetOnline.ag. The lines from we're picking bowl games. And Steve, tell us about Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles.
Yes, I'll absolutely do that in just a second as soon as I bring them up. It's time to get locked on pickles. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, it is. They offer a variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, even carrots, and asparagus. This is a Mississippi-owned company, homemade on the coast of Mississippi. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles have been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years now, and they've become the South's favorite pickle. These are truly the best pickles you will ever have. Refrigerate them after opening, Corey. They have a strong dill flavor with a Cajun punch, no over sour taste. And this being a small business, they strive to keep the produce fresh and local from the starts. keeping the final pickle product extra crisp and crunchy. You can find these pickle products online at pickledstore.com or at your local Rouse's Market on the Gulf Coast or other southern stores near you. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra, and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickle.
That's right. South's greatest pickle. All right. Got to work on my Jake. Okay. So our first game here is the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl that we're going to pick. It's Jacksonville State. I'm stoked. So stoked they're in a bowl. They're 3-point favorites over Louisiana. Steve, I'll start with you. What you got?
Well, it's a situation that I'm really excited for Rich Rod and the Jacksonville State offense. They're actually fairly explosive, and Jacksonville State deserves to be in a bowl game despite, the weirdness that they got in with. This is a team that won 8 ball games. They're favored by about 3 points. Most of the situation, you just take the points and go with it, but I like the fact that Jacksonville State is the explosive they are. So I'm going to go with the Gamecocks from Jacksonville, Alabama. Give me Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Steve. They're explosive. They're hungry. They're excited to be in a bowl game after all of that controversy that involved them and James Madison. So I like their chances. I think they're craving a bowl win. They're going to get it. Give me the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville State on this one too. Don't have a really good reason why. I just think they're a slightly better team. But like I said, it's close points here. I'm going to take Jacksonville State to cover.
All right. Me and Cassidy are going to take Jacksonville State right down the road from us in Jacksonville, Alabama. We just like the way they're playing, and they're hungry, just like B. Stewart Cajun Dill Pickles. So both of us are taking Jacksonville State.
It's pretty good.
You know what's sad is for the second time this season, I've been surprised that Jacksonville State's in Alabama and not in Florida. Good Lord. And you know how you get the Spotify recaps of what songs you've listened to through the year? You know what I'm talking about? Your most played?
Doing that.
Yeah, so probably the only person in America, the most played song on my Spotify playlist, which is over 1,000 songs, is Leaving Louisiana in the Broad Daylight by the Oak Ridge Boys. So I'm going to go with Louisiana on this one. Show a little love.
But your song's about leaving Louisiana.
All right, we're going to do this fantasy football draft style. So Becky, you're up first on this one. We're going to work reverse order here. It's the Myrtle Beach Bowl. It is the first bowl on the slate. It is happening. Actually, they're both first bowls on the slate. They are happening on Saturday. It is Georgia Southern, favored by 3.5 over Ohio.
I am going to go with Georgia State in deference to Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Southern.
Or Ray Charles, Georgia Southern. Whoever. It's Georgia something. So I'll go with them over anybody in Ohio.
Don't you tell a Georgia Southern person that they're Georgia State, because they will. That's like, hey, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, same thing.
Then my humblest, deepest apologies, Georgia Southern. I in no way meant to equate you to Mississippi State, so my bad.
It's all good.
I'm tied for last in picks. So what are you gonna do?
This is what they are. So,
do you want to do Jake and Cassidy, or just skip straight to me?
Yeah.
Well, it's real easy. Georgia Southern, the ghost of Paul Johnson. And when I say ghost of Paul Johnson, he's not dead yet. But the ghost of him coaching in a Georgia Southern outfit is going to win this game for them over Ohio. They say, screw them action.
All right.
Well, I think I'm going to agree with that. I don't know. I've watched Georgia Southern play a little, and I like the way they play. It's a good team. I don't know anything about Ohio. Georgia Southern is favored in this one. I'm going to agree and take them.
Yeah, I'm with you there, George. I've been going back and forth on that. I've had Ohio in there. I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take 3.5 here. I'm gonna take Georgia Southern. I think that Clay Helton's doing a great job down there with the Eagles. I think they play a really good brand of football. I think they got off to a bit of a rough start at the beginning of the season, where I thought they were going to kind of start going downhill, but they really kind of turned it around, and they've had a pretty nice season, and they're gonna cap it off with a win in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, and this situation is like if you take Alabama's uniforms and you take Penn State's uniforms and they had a baby, that's what Georgia Southern would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think they're just classic uniforms on the field. I actually like watching them play just because of the way they look. Give me Georgia Southern.
You know they had the real Adrian Peterson, right?
I knew that they had an Adrian Peterson.
It's funny. The Georgia Southern fans are like, "Yeah, we had the real Adrian Peterson." He was
opposed to the fake one.
Well, there's the one that played at Oklahoma, and then there's the one that
was like a top 10 running back
ever. Yeah, and then the one that's like the all-time FCS leader.
Yeah, that's
in Russia. Played for the Bears for like 10 years.
Jake.
Welcome in, Jake.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I just got home and I had to save us from the travesty of Corey acting like me because that was awful.
Is my impression not good?
I was like, I got to go save America from this monstrosity. So I am here for the most important segment.
Okay, Jake. Tell us why you're picking Georgia Southern.
Hang on. Hey, keep talking. I got to get my email pulled up so I can get my picks back up.
Right. So you didn't. So my impression wasn't good. Okay, I got to work on it then.
Right. No, I'm glad to be back. Thanks for letting me come on late. I had a
glad we were still yapping.
Yeah, Stacey, I had my Christmas work party tonight, so that's where I've been. Just got home.
Did you contribute some shine?
No, it was fairly clean tonight. So,
okay.
All the good stuff's at work.
Fairly clean.
Yeah.
We talked about how Michigan was going to beat the brakes off of Alabama. That's what you missed.
Okay. Well, I'll go back and listen to it, and next week I'll catch up.
Yeah. If you go back and listen to that, you'll be like, okay, yeah, Steve was right.
Steve was right. Jim Harbaugh's coach of the decade, you know.
Right. Yeah. Oh, me.
Big Ten defenses.
Okay, we did a segment. Big Ten defenses are overrated, and Alabama is going to beat the brakes off of them because if they couldn't block Chop Robinson, how are they going to block Dallas Turner? That was kind of the gist of it.
I got you.
No, yeah. In all seriousness, Michigan has no shot.
Yeah.
Don't tell their fans that because they're in my inbox this week.
I've got the Penn State fans, which by the way, you would think that Ole Miss is playing the '85 Bears.
Yeah, I got all the no, we don't. Vandy doesn't have any bowl fans, so we're good.
So
these Austin Peay fans are ridiculous.
These damn Tennessee Tech fans they're insufferable. UNLV running Rebel fans, man. It's not the Ole Miss Rebel fans we have to worry about. It's the UNLV running Rebel fans we have to worry about, man. This is great. All right, Jake, you ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, why are you picking Georgia Southern? And then we're fresh for the next set.
Picking Georgia Southern. I don't know much about either one of these teams. Last time I remember Ohio being in, Corey picked them and was like, "Oh, they're really good," and then he picked them and they got beat. So
boat race,
right. So I'm picking Georgia Southern just because it happened. That's all I remember.
And then you're picking Jacksonville State.
Correct.
Good. All right. So our we're doing the I don't even know who the sponsor is this time around, but it's the Independence Bowl, which is Cal versus Texas Tech. It's an interesting matchup, Steve.
That is always going to be the polling weed eater Independence Bowl. It just always is.
It was the Walk-Ons Bowl at some point.
Hey, that's good. They have good red beans and rice. That makes sense.
Yeah. I like that place, yeah.
So, Steve, are you deep down bummed that Ole Miss is not playing Texas Tech again this year?
Oh my God. Ole Miss has played Texas Tech more times since 1997 in bowl games than they have against Tennessee.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma State's almost as bad. So I'm just glad those two teams. I'm glad there's no Big 12 teams. I'm done with them. I'm done with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year's the SEC versus Big Ten, and it seems like almost every game.
Yeah, and I think they set that up intentionally, by the way. But that's another thing I want to talk about later. But I think in this game, I saw Cal play football this year. I saw them get beat by Auburn. I saw Cal make a bowl game. Texas Tech, they have a disciple of, I guess, G.J. Kinney, and he does a lot of good stuff offensively. I think Texas Tech is going to be able to put some drives together and get the win and kind of improve themselves into the new Big 12, where them and Arizona are going to be competing with Colorado and Baylor or Oklahoma State for Big 12 supremacy.
K-State's going to rule that conference.
Yeah. Iowa State, man.
Iowa State. I mean, in all seriousness, Iowa State might be the top of that. Matt Campbell's a great coach. All right, this is a weird matchup because Texas Tech and Cal are both like this year. You saw both teams
because Cal can't throw the football. They have a good running back though. That odd's pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the difference here. Cal's going to shorten the game. Cal's pretty good at defense. I think Justin Wilcox is, if there's one thing he can do well, it's play a little bit of defense. And as long as you're not Auburn and have the Auburn rushing attack, I think you're just fine. And Texas Tech is certainly not that. So I'm going to take Cal here as the underdog. And here we go.
Yeah, and actually, I like that California's coming in with a little momentum, having beat UCLA there at the end of their season. I'm sure they were happy about that. But I still think I'm taking Texas Tech. I don't know why exactly. I like them a little better. They've had a decent season themselves, although, like I said, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Beat Kansas, which was very impressive. Got just destroyed by Texas, although I'm not really holding that against them. But I think I just kind of even tossing a coin here. I think I'm going with Texas Tech to cover this.
I tell you what, Patrick Mahomes is not walking through that door. Cliff Kingsbury's not walking through that door. Wes Welker's not walking through that door.
Guns up.
Yeah, this is just a toss-up, honestly. Yeah, it could. I mean, honestly, go either way. It could, and like Corey said, I mean, they're just neck and neck. I'm going with California. Like Jeb said, they're coming in with a little bit of momentum. Beating UCLA this year doesn't really have a lot of flair because they're kind of down as well. But the last time we saw Texas Tech on the football field, they got absolutely boat raced by Texas. Of course, Texas is a really good team. So, yeah. I mean, again, it's just a pick. So I'm going with California. Cash is going with Texas Tech. So here we go.
It's divided.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with California only because they're going to win by 7. So that's the reason I picked them.
Well,
yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
You should have let me know that a couple hours ago.
I got to get out of the bottom.
Steve looks at the standings.
Oh,
okay. Oh.
All right, that's fine.
Climbing out of the cellar. Here we go. All right. So I'm time for last time. All right. Becky, you ready? You ready to roll?
Oh, yes, sir.
Next pick. So we got the New Mexico Bowl, which pits Jerry Kill's New Mexico State, 3.5-point favorites against Fresno State. A very interesting matchup from the Mountain West. And Becky, what you got?
Quick question. Is New Mexico State the one that whipped Auburn earlier this year?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm going to go with them because, yay, it still feels good.
Okay. Jake, are you bummed out that New Mexico State beat your Auburn Tigers?
No, I'm still bummed about that. But no, I'm going New Mexico State. Jake Hill's got that program heading in the right direction. I mean, honestly, anywhere he goes, he's turned every program he's been at in the right direction. So going with Jerry Kill and New Mexico and Cash Diaz too.
All right, Jeb.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with that. I'm going with New Mexico State. I was thinking about Fresno. I really wanted to pick them, but didn't they just? I think their head coach just stepped away as well. So I don't know. I just feel like the momentum's more on the New Mexico State side, so I'm going to take them to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And New Mexico State is they were in the conference championship against Liberty. I mean, they got boat raced, obviously, but Jerry Kill, I think, is everything every program he's been around, like you said, Jake, has been fantastic. He was headed that way at Minnesota. I was excited to see him disrupt the Big Ten, but had some health issues, forced him to step away. So, but he's back. And New Mexico State, the way they play, man, it's fun to watch. And Fresno State, they're a really good football team in the Mountain West, but they're having some issues with their head coach, and I think he's having some health stuff, and he's having some stuff going on too. So he had to step away. So I'm taking New Mexico State here too, Steve.
Yeah, me too. And they absolutely got boat raced a little bit by Liberty, but Liberty's a really good football team. And I mean, as much as it pains people to say it from time to time, I think they're going to give Oregon some problems because Oregon cannot be up for that football game. So, but we'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks. But give me New Mexico State in this game. And by the way, just so you know, New Mexico State literally stole their mascot and their logo from Oklahoma State, like Wyoming, to the point where they got sued and they had to ask permission to keep it and to pay money to Oklahoma State just to have their mascot. So anybody that can just bald-faced steal from Oklahoma State, I'm for. Give me New Mexico State.
That is hilarious. So, Jake, if you haven't picked up on this, we're going fantasy football snake draft style on these picks. So, Steve, UCLA versus Boise State in the ABC Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. That is UCLA as 4-point favorites. I think it's at SoFi against Boise State. So this is a kind of a weird matchup too. If I'm UCLA, I'm like, what is this matchup here? But yeah. Steve,
how'd you end up there?
Yeah.
Way back 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that, there was a show called Chuck that I watched pretty religiously. They had a character named Captain Awesome that went to UCLA and was a doctor. So he was big on the Bruins. There was actually an episode about them playing Stanford and going up and seeing that game. So I'm just feeling UCLA right now and Captain Awesome. And I think UCLA is going to be able to handle it against a team that fired their coach.
All right. Yes. I'm with you there. Boise State, again, they just had a little bit of turmoil. UCLA, again, is, like most of the Pac-12 is aside from Oregon and Washington have been a freaking roller coaster. They've been up and down, up and down, up and down. At one point, they were going to fire Chip Kelly, and next turnaround, they gave him a 3-year extension. And after they boat raced USC, and it's just been a weird season in the Pac-12, which is now the Pac-2. And so I like UCLA to win this game. They're explosive. I like the style in which they play. Their quarterback's really good, and they're just. Boise State is just running into a buzzsaw here. Jeb?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you talked about a couple games ago. I've been real back and forth on this one. I don't know if I just want Boise State to win. Looking at everything, to me, they seem like the better team, but I just don't think they are. I think UCLA, even though they had kind of a rough ending to their season, I think they're just better suited in this game to win this one. So I'm going to take UCLA in this one.
All right. Thomas household, we are taking Boise State, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, they fired the coach halfway through the season. Since then, Spencer Danielson, who has now been elevated to the official head coach, once he come in and took over that program, they have won 4 consecutive games and won the conference championship. So they got new life, they got new energy. UCLA has been with Chip Kelly for years, and they just been kind of like a roller coaster. They never have hit that peak. And I just think Boise right now, they got some life about them with their new coach. And since he's been the interim, they've been really hot here lately. So I'm taking Boise and Cassius too.
It's not a bad pick.
No,
and I'm taking UCLA because F that blue football field and their team right in the face. I hate it, and they don't deserve to win anything ever.
It does mess with your eyes.
Oh, I hate it.
It's hard to argue with that, honestly.
But I do love when it's covered in snow, though, because you can't see the blue field.
It's
mildly tolerable at that point.
Right.
So, Becky, if that field gives you a headache, don't ever go to a game at Eastern Washington.
Oh, it's red.
It is
Oh, I've seen that before too. Why do they do that? Why?
be different.
Stop it.
There's a team in New York that has a black field.
Oh wow.
Okay, I kind of want to see that though.
It's like a D2. I just search like black turf.
With
No,
white lines, I
no,
could see
no,
that.
Jeff.
No, not Jeb. Jeb, no.
no.
Search black what? I'm sorry.
Central Arkansas's field is alternating on there purple and gray,
Yeah.
Oh my
like every
gosh.
5 yards.
Oh.
Who is this?
Coastal's teal.
Central Arkansas.
Coastal
No.
is a teal field.
Look it up. Look it up.
Automatic ban from playing football.
Let me
Automatic.
let me look it up here.
Ugh.
Let's see. Hold on. Team in New York with black turf. The second search result is turtles, just so you know. It's State
Stacey.
University of New York, Morrisville Mustangs. They have their new black colored turf at Drake Field.
Oh.
So
but
look
now
up
I just want them to be the turtles.
the turtles.
The
I like
turtle.
turtles. So there you go. There you have it. All right, our next game is the
There you go. bro.
hard hitting stuff.
Okay, that's good, Stacey.
Oh god. That's
Look at that feel.
Oh,
Oh,
that's horrible.
Oh yeah. See,
And
the
someone
black
needs
looks
to do that.
good. I just wonder how that would end up in a game. Like
and
it
a
just seems
whole
like-
field though. That's
Yeah. I
It's
feel like that's a
tricky.
better picture than it would be an actual game.
yeah, that's true. That's a picture you want to hang up on like your wall and frame it, but not playing on a football game on it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Of course, it's like probably cold there.
All right. So we're on Appy State, right?
Yes.
He's like, "Come on, guys."
Yeah.
Metamucil's kicking. All right. The ABC Cure Bowl, Miami of Ohio versus App State. App State is 6. Should I have point favorites?
I'm going to go with App State to win this one pretty handily. I don't think Miami of Ohio has a chance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jake, Cass.
yeah.
Why you making
We're
big bucks.
we're taking Appy State too. App State, they're just dangerous, and I think they handle Miami, Ohio easily.
I'm taking Appalachian State too, just because I like that team a lot, and I have for a while now. So I'm rooting for them. Miami, Ohio is better than I think a lot of people are giving them credit for. But
Yeah,
but I still think I still have to go with Appalachian State on this one.
Yeah, it's tempting to pick Maction, and you want to be like, okay, we got to pick some MAC team, but there's some tough matchups in these bowl games for the MAC conference, and Miami of Ohio has held their own. They have Brett Gabbert as their quarterback. He's done a really, really good job for them. Chuck Martin is the head coach up there in Oxford, Ohio. But they're just running into a tough matchup against a Fun Belt team and a really good Fun Belt team in Appy State. So I'm taking the Mountaineers.
I'm going to go with the university that gave us such things as Twitter and Facebook and a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool that they're App State. So all these apps, you can just go. They just learn how to make apps.
It took me a minute to get where you were going.
me too.
It's like, what is he talking
And
about?
that is really cool. And I think they're going to play football like it's a football app and win the game against Miami of Ohio.
Goober.
You can keep that momentum going here because we got the Bahamas Bowl that's actually being played in
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah. Stadium in the Bahamas is under renovation.
Yeah. So I'll say
Oh, that
this:
sucks.
Bahamas Bowl committee, if you're listening, and whenever you get the stadium renovated, if you need a broadcast crew to come down and broadcast this game for a week, we're it.
Happy to do it. We'll jump on that grenade.
We'll jump on it.
I love the Bahamas. I just do. It's really, really great. But it's a situation also, Old Dominion, their nickname is the Monarchs, and they have a big football rivalry with James Madison, who is the Dukes for some reason.
Yeah.
But James Madison, the author of the Constitution, versus the Monarchs, it's kind of a Redcoats type vibe. So I can't ever root for Old Dominion, period, because of basically what they stand for. So give me the Hillbillies. Western Kentucky is going to win this game.
Very weird explanation, but yes, I think Western Kentucky is just explosive on offense. I don't really care about Redcoats and General Cornwallis and the advance on Bunker Hill, but I think that the Hilltop
4th of July, stay home. No parades for you if you don't want to celebrate being American.
America boy. That's right. I'm a true red-blooded American, so give me the red-blooded Hilltoppers because they just stormed Bunker Hill and knocked the Monarchs right off it, man. Okay, give me Western Kentucky.
Well, I'm gonna disagree. I like Old Dominion for a couple reasons. One,
Of course.
they beat App State, who we were just talking about being a good team, and two, at the end of their season, they just rolled through Georgia and just beat a bunch of Georgia teams. And I'm always down.
So
for
did
that.
Sherman.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
So give me Old Dominion to burn Western Kentucky to the ground.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we are General Sherman land now.
Yeah.
We went from General Cornwallis to General Sherman. We're on a good path here.
Yeah. Sherman had didn't ever come up against a defense, in Georgia.
He just wanted to go to the ocean.
Right.
I like a bit of
Jake,
the
you got to give us a World War I reference here, okay?
I don't have any. I will give you a little reference while I'm picking Western Kentucky. I still play my old NCAA 13 because I'm still living in the past since we ain't got any college football game. I know
Next year.
I remember the very first time I had choose Western Kentucky on, I was playing against them, and their team is awful, but they had a running back that was like 97 overall, and his speed was like 99, and he just ran through my defense the entire game. Of course, I don't think they got a guy that good
Sounds
anymore.
like Blake Corum.
But anyway, so I don't know much about Old Dominion. I did not know that they beat App State. That's a good win for them. But Western Kentucky against Old Dominion, I got to take Western Kentucky, and Cassidy is too.
Good, you're a true American,
right? Yeah, General Cornwallis.
I feel a little bit shamed right now to let y'all know I'm apparently a Tory because I'm picking Old Dominion on this one.
Y'all a bunch of traitors. Bunch of traitors.
Old Dominion gonna do it.
Becky. No taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the name of the game, sir.
If we're going to do this,
Definitely
though,
going with
tarring
Old
and
Dominion.
feathering, that's an option.
We're gonna have a tea party where we throw out all of your tea, all 3 bags of it.
Oh, if you get the French to come over and give you a hand.
Damn right they will.
Are you talking noise because the U.S. got assistance?
I don't know what's happening right now.
My goodness.
Stop.
The French
Let's
came
move along.
came like a blister. They showed up when all the work was done.
Whoa, sir. They do not get their proper respects when it comes to us being a country. They were
pivotal in the battle.
I mean, who?
Why am I defending France right now? What is happening?
You're defending Tories and France. It's like everybody but America.
It was a difficult time, sir. It was a difficult time.
No George Washington and his Dodge Challenger.
Yeah. Who was coined of being the father of America? It wasn't anybody named France. It was George Washington. So.
George Washington on his in his
actually just about every state in the U.S. has a Lafayette.
I was going to say Oxford, Mississippi is in Lafayette County or Lafayette County.
Lafayette,
because we don't pronounce it correctly. But
in Georgia, it's just Fayette County.
Yeah, we got Fayette County too.
We have a Fayette County too.
We have Fayetteville. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a Hollywood.
We have a Fayetteville. That's where I'm from, Fayetteville, Georgia.
Nice.
I got put in my place real quick at Ole Miss and was informed that it was not Lafayette County. So, but it's named after a person.
Yeah,
No.
you actually know what his name is.
Yeah,
Nope.
I'm an idiot. It's Lafayette.
You can't bring that reading stuff here.
Nerd.
Get that French stuff out of here. I do like the French. I do love French fries though.
The French
They
do
are
their
delicious.
fries, right? Jake, they're called freedom fries now.
Oh, there we go. Freedom fries.
We
I
are
don't know if Jake is old enough to know where that comes from.
Oh no!
I don't.
Oh, Jake,
Oh.
you baby.
Did-
That wasn't that long ago.
I was gonna say, wasn't that like Desert Storm? It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, that was
No.
9/11.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
yeah, but it was after that we started doing the Freedom Fries thing. But
Yeah,
by
it
then
was
we were
like
Iraqi
doing-
2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was still in school.
Oh no, Desert Storm. I meant the Iraqi invasion. Sorry,
Oh my god.
Desert Storm was the first.
Yeah,
one.
I knew Jake.
We've been over there a bunch of
Yeah.
times. Oh,
Desert
How
Storm
are you
was in-
doing, fellow kids?
yeah.
Oh yeah, Desert Storm was in like 92, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
the first
early
time we went over there.
90s.
Yeah.
We had that.
91. I was in first grade.
91. Yeah.
When they invaded.
Yeah.
They invaded
Kuwait.
Iraq. Kuwait.
Mhm.
Iraq invaded
No.
Kuwait. Yeah,
How many
They did not
people here were in
invade
high
Kuwait.
school when the first Desert
Iraq
Storm
invaded
happened?
Kuwait.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us.
No,
Oh,
no, that was
no.
Desert Storm. Iraq invaded Kuwait. We went over and kicked them
Yeah.
back out.
I was in
And
fifth
everybody got oil.
Exactly.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Pronounced oil. Yes.
Oh,
I was in
Oil.
fifth
Oh,
grade.
it's pronounced- it is pronounced oil.
It's
grade.
oil.
I was in fifth grade when 9/11 happened.
I was a senior
Wow.
in high school when that happened.
I was
You know,
in middle school.
I was in
Wanna
fourth
hit both
grade
of
when
y'all
the
in the
Challenger
face.
happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I was in the Navy a couple years when that happened.
I was getting ready to start kindergarten when the Challenger happened.
I wasn't even born yet.
Attaboy.
Oh, I don't
Goodness
like anybody
crazy.
anymore.
All right, Becky. Marshall
Old
versus
Stacey. The
UTSA.
answer's old.
All right, Stacey. I was 18 years old. You're gonna have to do a little math here, Stacey. I was 18 years old in the year 2001.
I'm not good at math.
Oh my god. I think I was 20.
I was born in 1983. Stacey.
When 9/11 happened, I was married for going on 2 years.
40 years.
40 years
No.
old.
22.
1
Yeah.
year.
No, you weren't.
No, it was
married
1
for
year.
2 years.
Yeah, I got the math wrong. I'm from
Yeah.
Mississippi. People can understand.
I was born in 81 and Steve is much older than me. Just know that.
I was
way
born
older.
In
when I was
73.
born. The Atari was a thing.
Oh, we had an Atari when I was little. I love that thing.
Two things were born in 1776: America and Steve.
I thought he was the author of the Constitution.
You know he don't write good. Come on.
Yeah.
He was
Don't
born in-
tease. We got one game left, y'all. One game.
We're just talking
We're waiting
about
on you.
games. The
We're
whole
waiting on
time
you.
it was going on, it was
Oh.
like James Madison. I was pointing nerd. Nerd.
No, Becky did make her pick. She picked Old Dominion. All right. So the
Yes.
Roadrunners meet are playing
yes.
the Frisco Bowl against Marshall. They are 13-point favorites. Becky against Marshall. Does that matter?
Oh,
Me.
like straight up, I picked Marshall to cover because I didn't realize they were the Roadrunners. What a fun nickname.
Me.
Not a mistake.
Me.
We are Marshall's son. We can keep it within 13 or 14.
We are Marshall. We drive the struggle bus.
They are the thundering herd, but we don't know what that herd is.
It's a herd of kittens right now. All right, Jake.
Herd
Me,
of
me.
cats.
Me.
Jeb.
It's, okay. I'm going with UTSA too. All right. They've only lost like 4 games this season, and 2 of those were to Tennessee and to Tulane. I mean, that's respectable. They had a good season. I like them a lot better. I think they're gonna win this one pretty big.
Steve. Me.
It's Frank Harris. It's UTSA. Jeff Traylor has them going, and Marshall.
Mhm.
Honestly, they ain't crap.
Not
And
this year.
give me the team that is crap versus the team that ain't crap. And Marshall is a 13-point dog in a bowl game, which means they ain't crap. So give me
Rakeem Cato
UTSA.
ain't walking through that door. Do you know who that is?
I didn't hear what you.
Rakeem Cato.
Oh yeah.
Byron Leftwich ain't hobbling
Yeah, I
through
figured
that
you
door.
do that. Chad Pennington is not walking through that door.
Chad Pennington is not sauntering through that door. Randy
Wow.
Moss isn't leaping through that door.
Mm.
See what I did there.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's our bowls.
All right.
That's
Well,
all-
week 1 of our bowls. Next week we'll have the next week of our bowls.
yes, we'll pick bowls because there's like 67 bowls.
Good Lord.
That might actually be the real number. I don't know. But
Good
Stacey, did you ever figure out how old I was?
40.
Stacy? Thank you, Stacy.
But we're real proud of you, Jake.
He said 1983. I was like 93.
Said I've been doing that math for the last 20 minutes.
Crayons taste like purple.
Oh god, I love going through and look at some of the new bowl names because I can't call them this stuff anymore. But
is it literally the Frisky Bowl?
No, it's the Frisco Bowl. It's in Frisco, Texas.
It's Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. Just so
Scooter's Coffee. There we go.
Yeah,
wow, how much did they pay for that? It was like I've got a 20 on me.
Scooter's Coffee Frisco.
It's still not quite the San Diego County Credit Union.
Right.
Frisco's like, oh no, I'm only paying for my own salad.
Remind me of Ohio and Appalachian State are in the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. I love that. Avocados,
which is in Orlando, by the way.
Avocados from Mexico.
Yeah.
I just love this.
The Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
Yeah.
Claim.com, Boca Raton Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
When is
Lockheed
SEC
Martin
After
Armed Forces?
Dark? When is SEC After Dark getting our bowl game?
Right.
That's a good question. I mean, we need to start sponsoring a bowl. It can't be that hard, apparently.
Steve, get on that. All right. So
why does it always have to be me?
You're good at it. You got all our sponsors so far.
There's one that's just sponsored by Wasabi, just like all of Wasabi. I don't know.
We can add our name to that. SEC After Dark Wasabi.
Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I mean, little green stuff you put on sushi. Yeah, that's our bowl.
SEC After Dark presents the Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl. There we go.
There you go.
That is what I want.
Case closed, Johnson. All right. So here we go.
All right. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right. So we are. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our picks. Hopefully, the 5th and 6th place people switch places, and I can creep up there towards that 4 number where Cassidy and Steve are tied for 3rd. So we are SEC After Dark.
Got a long way to go.
If you like us, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. Go ahead and give us a listen. Go ahead and give us a rating. Give us some feedback. Find us on social media. You can find Steve at Locked On Ole Miss as well. He's doing a tremendous job there. If you want to see him try to pronounce Princely Umanmielen, you can do that. If you want to hear me pronounce Princely Umanmielen, don't worry about it because I'm hosting the Locked On Ole Miss. I'm not hosting the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. I'm hosting the Locked On Vandy podcast, and he's not even close to committing to
slightly different winning percentage,
just a little bit. Yeah.
You can also find me at the Bleav In Georgia Dawgs podcast as well, and you can find Jake at Tide Talk Live, and he's got merch. You can find Jeb
eventually somewhere.
You can find Jeb eventually. All right.
Eventually. We needed one of those little cars that SpongeBob has. Eventually.
I'm gonna start off the new year right. Y'all see.
So
I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Actually, I haven't either.
I've never seen a full episode.
No. Yeah,
I am young.
Yeah, no, I remember people in college that were younger than me that came into college and were watching it, but so I apparently just missed it. But
my age range is like DuckTales. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I love DuckTales.
DuckTales.
I sing that whole song.
Stacey's got a bowl name right there.
The DeadSoxy SEC After Dark Stewart's Dill Pickle Bowl.
My goodness, that would.
That's a good name.
And the bowl tie-in has to be between the Sun Belt and Conference USA.
Perfect. Let's roll with it. Let's get that patent next week.
For
next year,
Stacey,
next year's bowl.
Congratulations. You are our new business manager for this bowl game venture here.
Yeah.
I'm the commissioner. I'm going to flip the coin. So we're good. All right. But yeah, so you can find us there. It is our first week on not SEC After Dark. It's definitely not our first week. It is my first week on Locked On Vandy. So make sure you like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Give Vandy some love too. So with that being said, I appreciate it, man. With that being said, we're going to jump out of here. We're going to see you back here next week. We are SEC After Dark, presented by DeadSoxy, Cajun Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, and BetOnline.ag. And until then, we will see you back here next week. Go Dogs.
Go Vols.
And go Pack.
Oh, yeah, you got a bunch of them.
And hotty toddy.